Good evening and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How is everybody tonight? Hope you're all well. Hope you're all set for a suitably warm and pleasant weekend. Maybe do a little bit of painting or play some games. Let's say hello to the chat. Good evening, Amberden. Good evening, Sarah. Welcome, both of you. So then, what game are we going to play tonight? We are going to be playing Black Rose Wars from Ludus Magnus Studio and Ares Games. This is a game that I've been looking forward to getting to the table for some time. There's quite a lot to this game, and it's going to be interesting how it plays out tonight. Not because necessarily it is a complex game to learn, but it's the medium of online play means that my competitor in this particular game is a slightly handicapped as far as not able to see the cards or see the player board. And that being the case, it will pose a little bit more of a difficulty. So we'll see how the game plays out. We'll have to be slightly more forgiving than maybe we would do ordinarily if we were sat around a table, firing fireballs at one another. Are you all set and ready, Sarah? Just see if you're in the voice chat ready. Yes? All right. Shall we bring you on in? Let's unmute the mic for you. Good evening, Sarah.
Oh.
Hello. How are you?
Great. My internet decided to disconnect while you were starting, and that's why I was...
Panic.
Come on, reconnect.
Okay, well, it's all good now. It's all good. Yeah. Right. So then, there was quite a lot to sort of read and get your head around on this game, wasn't there? Oh, you broke up there. What was the reply?
I said,
Yeah, we're going to take baby steps. I think a little bit with this.
Yeah.
Because it's always the case when we play a brand new game for the first time. It is a learning play, but as I sort of said, this game has slightly more sort of added complication for the fact of you can't see your cards, and I'll have to describe what spells you have. And then you're probably gonna have to write these down and then sort of formalize your plan a little bit. But we'll manage. Right. I guess if we go to the table, I can start sort of explaining things, can't I? Okay, so we have everything set out before us. Right off the bat, this is a beautiful game. So detailed and colourful artwork in every aspect of it. The miniatures are absolutely beautiful. They are probably about a 40mm scale, so larger than your typical wargaming minis that you might have. But for this game, absolutely perfect, and so much detail crammed into the models. They will be an absolute joy to paint up. There is umpteen cards for us to go through. We're going to be playing a kind of an abridged version of the game here. So there is a stage where typically we would draw up additional spells from potentially 6 schools of magic. But what we've decided to do is we're literally going to be playing with 1 school of magic each. So my character, Rebecca, is going to be using the necromancy spells. And Sarah's character, Nero, is going to be using the destructive magic. Or destruction, I should say. So you're all about firing fireballs and ice blasts, and I am all about raising the dead to do my bidding. So let's explain things slightly. You are starting down in this location here. I am starting right at the top here. This is the center of the lodge, which is the Black Rose Room. And the idea behind the game is that there has... we're basically trying to determine who is going to be the Supreme Mage. And what happens is this lodge is a magical location built up of random rooms. So you always start the game with the Black Rose Room in the center, and then all of the other tiles are randomly placed around it. So of course it's different every time you play the game. And I guess ultimately it's a wizard's deathmatch. We are going to be running around this location, either firing our spells at one another to do damage and ultimately to kill one another, though we get resurrected back into our starting locations, or as when we are using our magic, we are causing instability within the rooms themselves. What happens then is when when you cast magic too many times in a room, that room essentially collapses in upon itself. That scores you points, but also means that the special ability of that room is no longer available for the rest of the game. So your area becomes smaller and smaller of the bonuses that you can take advantage of. We will have certain events that will come into play where if we do not succeed and actually meet that event, then the actual lodge itself scores points. Because not only are we fighting against one another, we are fighting against the lodge. The lodge can actually win the game. And this, of course, then the lodge deems us unworthy of being a supreme mage. And so we have our points tracker on this side of the board. And ultimately, whoever reaches the 30 points, that ends the game. There are additional points that we may have scored during the course of play, which then will determine the winner. But the lodge itself does have a points tracker and will be scoring points as we play. We will also be picking up quests. And quests are a way of us scoring those additional points. If we destroy a room, then we pick up the room marker, and that itself gives us additional points. And when we actually kill one another, that gives us points as well. So there's lots of ways of getting points. But essentially, we are just going to be running around either destroying rooms or killing one another. Whoever gets to 30 potentially might win the game. But what we will do is we will play until around about 10 to 9, and then we will sort of call it there, count up the points, and then see who is the overall winner. So that's a brief overview. Do you have any questions?
All of them, but
All
I
of
figure
them.
I know our action. I know what I'm allowed to do when I take my turn, and so I think that's the main thing that I needed to know.
Okay. Yes, because this is just fitting onto the table. We both have our mage player boards, and again, some beautiful artwork on the board here. And this would absolutely organize our spell cards and our damage and our quests, but there's just no room to be able to put them on here. So Sarah is kind of playing unable to sort of see her setup in front of her.
You're kind of playing both people, and I'm just helping with one of the characters.
You're making some of the decisions as we go along. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get things started. because the game itself has a very sort of logical flow and progression to what we do. And once we've played it a couple of times, we'll see, we'll kind of automatically know what we need to do. So I printed out a very handy guide here to be able to do this, and we'll just work in order. So basically, in a round, there are 6 phases. The Black Rose phase, the Study phase, the Preparation phase, the Action phase, the Evocation phase, and then the Cleanup phase. So let's get started. And we start with the Black Rose. As I explained, the Black Rose kind of is an entity. It's a magical entity that controls this entire tournament, if we consider it that way. So we check which player has the crown, and that player is the first player. Well, Sarah, you are on this side of the board. You do have the crown, so you are the first player. But we've done that on purpose so that I can guide you through this initial steps.
Okay.
If we had a quest in hand, then we could actually discard that quest. So we're going to pick up quests, and maybe we find that we cannot achieve the quest. So we could discard a quest, but that being the case, the Black Rose would actually score points by us doing so. But at this moment, in the 31st turn, we don't have quests, we don't have to worry about that. We shift the events to the right. There are no events out at the moment, so we don't have to do that. And so then the last player, so if you're the first player, I am the last player, draws an event and resolves it. So we draw up the first card on the events. This is called the Golden Keylock. Flip the activation token of each yellow room to its backside, indicating that the room may not be activated. All right, so straight away, so let's explain an event card. As soon as there's some iconography down at the bottom, let's see if you can kind of make that out, but I will explain it. So the first icon basically says that as soon as you draw a card, the Black Rose scores 2 points. So this is the game's internal timer. Already the Black Rose is ahead, winning by 2 points. We then place down this card just here on the events track. And as I said, when we start a new round, we move the cards along by 1 space. When the card eventually hits the discard pile, the Black Rose scores whatever points the card indicates, which in this case would be 1 point. So that card, that event, the Black Rose is going to totally score 3 points. All right. So then, we need to lock all of the yellow rooms. So it is the Observatory, the Biblioteca, and the Sanctuary. These rooms, in this particular round, we cannot use them. In fact, we can't use them until this event disappears. I'm pretty sure. Or is it? Oh, that's a good point. Yes, it's turn over the tokens, Lorna. Good evening, welcome. Yes, we ultimately will be turning over some of these tiles once we destroy the rooms. So, and that's quite cool when we get to do that. But here and now, it just means those rooms we cannot go into. So we can go into the room, but we can't take advantage of the special abilities that room presents for us. I think these are locked for the duration of this card working through. So it's going to be for the next 3 turns, or 3 rounds, I should say. All right. Each player with 0 quests draws 1. And players may have up to 2 quests. All right. So we go over to the quests. This is going to be your quest, Sarah. Train your body. So you activate this quest in the Forge. Where is the Forge? Aha, the Forge is just here. Can you see it? It's the one with the green marker and with the molten magma. Instead of the normal room effect of 1 additional movement and 1 punch, inflict an additional 1 damage with this punch. Okay. So if you are able to get to the Forge, you effectively complete this quest. And this quest...
So this is kind of like our last game where we get the card, but we only get to activate it once we reach the room that it specifies.
Yes, exactly.
Now, when I get multiple quests, can I only do 1 at a time? Or do I have to like discard the rest? Or is it just kind of like the last game? You just kind of, they're your rumors until you go to that room.
You can have up to 2 quests.
Okay.
Right? Remember, if you discard a quest, then the points that you would earn, the Black Rose gets. So this quest, once you get to it, is worth 1 point.
Okay.
Right? And all you've got to do is get to the Forge.
Okay.
All right. Which is not too bad. It's not too far from you. That's pretty good. All right. Let's take a look. What is my quest? Magic block. I have to activate in the arena. Oh, the arena is right next to me. Oh, that's convenient. So instead of the normal room effect, cast 1 spell from your hand. Okay. What you need to do, of course, is by getting to the actual room, your location, you then have to do the activate that room to basically trigger the quest, yes? So this, of course, is your activation token, where you're able to move and then activate, or you can attack and activate, and of course you can do those in either order. So you've got to remember that. All right, so we each have 1 quest. In the next round, we could pick up another quest, but we can only ever have 2. And if we end up completing both quests, then we get to obviously pick up additional ones. So that is the Black Rose phase done. So it's now over to the study phase. Okay, this is going to be the interesting bit here. So I have a deck of or a hand of cards. There are 6 cards here. These have been predetermined because of your school of magic. We give these cards a quick shuffle. Okay, dun dun dun. This is your grimoire. This is your deck. So we're going to draw 2 cards from your grimoire. Grimoire goes back. And then what happens is ordinarily, well, we would draw 4 cards from the library. Now, the library ordinarily is a choice of 6 different schools of magic. I've mentioned 2, necromancy and destruction. The other schools, let me just go to the book. There is conspiracy, divination, illusion, and transmutation. There is actually a 7th school, the Forgotten, and that school only comes into play once the Black Rose room is unlocked, and these are sort of mega, top tier level spells. But because of our sort of limitations, we are going to literally just be working with our individual schools of magic, just to not overcomplicate. Should we come up? If we come and play the game again once we've played it, tonight, we might introduce other schools if we can have some variety. And I do believe that there are expansions where you can get even more schools of magic. So there's so much to do. And of course, the game is a deck builder. It is about learning the different spells, learning what combination these spells can be played in to make the maximum effect. Because that's sort of the fun of it, is that you are casting spells so quickly in sort of quick succession. And you want to have one spell that then enhances maybe another spell to give you lots and lots of damage done. So what we're going to do is we have 2 from our grimoire, and then we draw up 4 cards from the library, keeping 2 and discarding another 2. Your library is just going to be destruction spells. So we're just going to take the first 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're going to choose 2 from this deck here, but these are the first 2 that you have. So I'm going to tell you what you've got. And again, it's great that the game has obviously all of this sort of intricateness to it. The variety that's available is unprecedented. But for us doing this where you can't see and hold your cards, it adds complication. Because each spell card gives you 2 versions of the spell. So the 2 that we've chosen here is you have Meteor Storm and Ice Burst. But depending on which way you hold the card, gives you a slightly different variation to that spell. All right. What we're going to do is I'm going to just be holding your cards all with this symbol up at the top. And we will just be playing with the top spells on every card.
Same for yours as well.
And same for me as well, yes. So we're not going to overcomplicate things. So Meteor Storm. So this is a destructive, a fire-based spell. It has a range of 2 hexes. So how do we do range? If you are stood just here in your they call them a cell, don't they? A sort of monk's room. Yeah. Then 2 hexes is in a straight line. 1, 2. So this is the furthest you can fire the Meteor Storm to. Or you could fire it 1, 2. You cannot make your Meteor Storm curve round corners. All right?
But why? No.
I know. And then it tells you that it inflicts 4 damage on each model in the target room. That's pretty devastating. This has, and hopefully you can see on the card, this black void symbol. And what that means is it causes instability in the room that you cast it in. And I don't believe you can cast a spell in your cell. You have to cast them out on the actual board. Each of these boards have little indents. And
instability is bad or good?
It's kind of good. So say, for example, you were in this room and you cast the spell here. You'd be able to go 1, 2 or 1, 2 as far as your range to do damage on any model that's in those rooms, 4 damage. And then you would place down 1 of your tokens.
Oh, the instability. Okay, so once that's full, then let's say you finally make it over there, you won't be able to use, you won't be able to draw the card or the quest card or whatever the room says that you're allowed to do because it's full.
Yes, and whoever does the most damage, because remember, I could come to this room and cast a spell, and I'll put my cube in, but whoever does the most damage in the room claims the points from destroying the room.
Oh, so we want to have instability tokens in there.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is really good. So that is your Meteor Storm. Okay, have you made a note of that? So a range of 2, damage of 4.
I've written all of it down.
Good. Ice Burst. This has a range of 1. It inflicts 2 damage on each model in the target room. Affected mages may not use physical actions to move. Okay, so it makes perfect sense. You've blasted them with
2
ice.
damage and they can't move.
And they can't move. They can't escape. They're frozen. Okay, so those are 2 spells that you automatically
And it's
you've got to use.
that black dot on that one too.
It is, yes. I think you might find that most of your spells have the black void on because you're very destructive. Okay. So these are now the spells that you've picked up from the library. There's 4 here. You're going to get to choose only 2. And I'm just going to make sure they're all in the right alignment. They are. Okay, so here we go. Is that Demon's Howl? I think it might be. I just need to check what that symbol means. Hang on. Okay, so this is cast on yourself, because again, there's the iconography makes sense once you get used to it. So you're casting this spell on yourself, and one of your evocations may act immediately. What's an evocation?
What is the name of this card?
This is Demon's Howl. So basically, and
we use it on ourselves.
Yes. So it means that if you are controlling, let's call them a golem. Let's call it, give them a slightly different name. So if you are controlling any golems on the board, it means that you're able to use that golem instantly. Because typically, the evocations are used in a later phase in the round. Okay. So I will point out there is summoning rooms. So this particular room summons Cerbero. This room, so that is the summoner room, just right next to you. Cerbero is an evocation. Over in the cemetery, there is the Landsknecht. Landsknecht? Those are the 2 summonings. And let's get their cards, just so I can quickly show you. So, there's a Cerbero. Let's have that. There's a Landsknecht. Okay. So, evocations are controllable creatures that do your bidding. So, later on in the evocation phase, you're able to move these. The Cerbero can move 3. It can do a hitting damage for 2 and has 2 health. And each time Cerbero attacks, you heal 1 health. That's really cool. Okay. The Landsknecht, which basically is an undead warrior, moves for 2, hits for 2, and has a health of 3. All right. So that Demon's Howl allows you to allows you to use one of your evocations immediately. That's quite useful. Let's put those there.
And if you're not anywhere near me, then it's not necessarily a needed thing, right?
I'm sorry, I'm not quite with you.
So if I summon, let's just say I summon this dog or whatever, right?
Yep.
Would I just leave him in the room, or
No,
would
no,
I
no,
want to then make him mine, and then he would like follow me around?
He's not following you around. He's doing your bidding. So basically, once you've summoned him, right, he will go off and he will come to me or to any of the evocations that I've got, and basically, punch the hell out of us. So that's what.
Okay.
That's what you want.
So it's not like you'd have to be in the room with it. Okay.
No. Well, ultimately, I will be, because you'll be moving. He moves like another figure on the board.
Okay.
Right, but under your control.
Awesome.
Right? Yes. Well, that's it. If you can get a squad of these, yeah, I'm in trouble. Okay, so your next spell is Obscure Explosion. This inflicts 2 damage on each model in the target room. And then I'm going to have to double check on this.
What's the range?
It's a range of 2. So I have this this lovely book here that goes through all of the spells in so much detail, tells you everything. It is beautiful. So what was that? That was Obscure Explosion. So inflict 2 damage on each model in the target room. Then you may convert up to 3 instability tokens there to your color. So this is interesting. So I explained about you putting your cubes in a room.
So
yes?
that could essentially give me the points in that room.
Well, what this does, say I had, I'm trying to get in here. I've got some of my cubes in here. We've had a big old battle happening in this room. By using this spell, not only are you going to do 2 damage at a range of 2 from where you are, but you could turn my cubes into... Sorry, wrong ones, because you're green, I'm red. You could turn my cubes into your cubes, and when this room goes into instability, you've got more cubes than me, and that being the case, you command that room. Yeah?
Okay.
So that's quite cool.
And that's the room I'm standing in, or the room I attack in?
It's the room you're standing in where you cast
Okay.
the spell. It's always where you cast a spell. So that's Obscure Explosion. Mighty Whirlwind. I believe that this is, you can cast it. So move the so you can cast this onto, I think, 3. Is it 3 people within the room you're in? So move the target model 1 room. Then, if you moved it into a room with another model, inflict 1 damage on each of them. So it makes sense, doesn't it? You're in this room and you have summoned a magical whirlwind. So if I was in the room with you, you're whisking me up, and you're then determining which room I'm going to be dropped into. And if there was another model in that room, then I would take 1 damage because we've collided with one another. Remember, other models might be your evocations, might be my evocations. All right? So that's the whirlwind. There's no instability on that one, nor was there on the obscure explosion, nor was there on the demon ball. But Maelstrom does have instability. It's a range of 2. Move all models from adjacent rooms to the target room. Then inflict 2 damage on each model in that room. So basically,
move adjacent models up to 2.
Yep. So say, for example, I was here.
And then 2 damage.
Okay. You're doing, it gives you the water symbol, so it's like a tidal wave. You're basically blasting out this water, so I'm going to stumble back. So any adjacent, so if that, hang on a second, in fact, if you're going to target here, move all models from adjacent rooms to the target. Right. So if the target was here, right, you're drawing me into that room, and then you're making me take 2 damage. But
now, if there was little creatures in the other rooms adjacent to me, would they move there as well?
Yes. And anybody who's adjacent to the target room.
Even my characters?
Yes. Yep.
So I could hurt my own then?
You could, yes.
Okay.
But you then have...
instability?
Instability would be on the room that you're actually in.
Right. Okay.
All right. So then, that's the 4 that you have to choose from. Which 2 do you want?
Okay, so I get the top 2. But out of Ice Burst... I kind of like the Ice Burst. That one was kind of good.
Ice. Oh, you've already got the Ice Burst and the Meteor Swarm. They are already in your hand.
Sorry.
So it's from these last 4 that I've just described. You've got to decide which 2.
All right, then. So,
Demon's Howl, Obscure
Demon's Howl.
Explosion.
I like that one.
That one is only good if you have an evocation. But thankfully, you are able to summon an evocation in the room right next to you.
Right next to me. Yeah, I
so
know.
it's kind of convenient.
Yeah, I like the Maelstrom, but then I'm in trouble of maybe hurting my own thing.
You don't worry about it. Remember, they're just your minions. Right? If you can be doing damage against me, it's all good.
Now, do I get to reuse these spells, or once I use them, they're gone?
They are temporarily gone, right? But you will get them back in due course. And again, this is part of the deck building aspect.
Then let's go with the Obscure Explosion and the Demon's Howl.
Okay. So you're going to take those two cards. We're going to put the others effectively in your discard pile. I'm going to put your discards just there. In fact, I'll put that over there. Okay. Right. So you have studied, and now you have 4 spells waiting for you. I've got to do exactly the same now. So I'm going to shuffle.
Oh, while you do that, I will run away right quick. What is the amount of spells that we are allowed to have in hand?
In total, you can have 7. I, on the other hand, can have 8.
Oh, well, while you do your cards, I will be right back.
Okay, so I'm going to take 2 there. I'm going to find out, and I'm going to share. Now, remember, typically, if we were playing this game, we wouldn't be sharing what cards we have with one another, but we're going to do so for this. So I have Graze, which is range of 2. Inflict 2 damage on each model in the target room. In each adjacent room, I think that is... Hang on, let me get it right. I can convert 1 health on each model that you can and inflict 1 damage on each of the others. That's quite cool. So remember, I'm doing necromancy. It's all about sort of leeching health from others, isn't it? I then have Ice Grip. I can do this on a single model. On 2, is that 2 single models? I think it is. Inflict 3 damage on the target model. So I definitely like the Ice Grip. Let me just double check that. Ice Grip looks good. Where's Ice Grip?
Sorry to any chat or anything.
Inflicts 3 damage on the target model. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so I then draw up from my deck 4 cards. I'm going to choose 2. Make sure these are all in the right orientation. No, that one needs turning. Okay, we've got another Ice Grip. We've got Sick Withering. Inflict 3 damage on the target model. Select another target 1 hex from the first and inflict another 1 on it, continuing to do so for as long as there are available different targets. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Shift 1 of my undead into a room with at least 1 mage, and then they can attack. I'm definitely going to take that.
Well, good thing then. Once a day, I get to kill instantly undead things.
Oh.
Just kidding. That was the other game.
That's another game. That's another game. Invoke Obscurity. Remove any 1 undead from the target room to gain 2 points, or lose 1 point to summon a Bone Knight. I'm gonna have that because I want to summon some Bone Knights going on. We want some Bone Knight action.
Don't we all want some Bone Knights?
Now I just need to check one thing. Hang on. I think actually we got 2 of those left. I think we have. I think it makes sense, right? I am just going to quickly check. I think
maybe you can summon some of those Bone Knights in the pleasure room.
Yeah. Have you been checking out the different rooms? Yeah. I think so. We both have 2 special cards You already have one of these in your grimoire. It's called the Ring of Fire. So it's got a range of 2. You inflict 2 damage on each model in the target
Wait, hold on.
room.
Is this in my hand already?
No, it's in your grimoire. You haven't.
Okay, well, let me write it down. Okay, what is it called? Ring of Fire?
It's Ring of Fire. Don't write this down yet, because I don't want to confuse you, right? But what happens is basically as you score points, there is a shift of the moon. So at the moment we are in the crescent moon. Then we go to the half moon when somebody scores 6 points. And then once the game gets to 18 points, we go to a full moon. Once you get to those levels, you get to put one of these additional cards into your grimoire. And this is one of your super spells. Okay? So, but you do actually have one. All right, so we've done the study phase. We now go to the preparation phase. So we place 2 to 4 of our spells face down on our magic board. Right. This is the bit where hopefully you watching those videos and reading the rules will pay off a little bit. Because as you rightly pointed out before, when we get to the action phase, we're able to do 2 things, but not necessarily the two things of the same type. All right, so let me go through the list. But I think you're already quite clear on this, aren't you? So we'll do it for the viewers. So, starting with the first player and proceeding clockwise, each mage must perform at least one of these combinations. So, a physical action and another physical action, a physical action and a standard spell, a physical action and a quick spell, a standard spell and a quick spell, or a standard spell or a quick spell. So remember, you can do either 1 action or 2 actions in those combinations. And this is where it's important on how you place down your spells onto your board. So a quick spell typically can be played, a quick spell can be played with a standard spell. A quick spell can be played with an action. An action can be played with a standard spell. But the one thing you can't do is you can't play 2 standard spells one after the other. And your standard spells play in order. So the quick spell can be done at any time. You could do a quick spell with a spell 1, or you could do it with spell 2 once we get to that stage, or spell 3. But these standard spells, when they play in the order that you place them down. And that's really crucial to your strategy. So you've got those 4 spells. In what order do you want to put the spells down on your board?
Those all go with all my different moves, though, right?
Well, remember, you can only do... So you've got 2 actions. These are physical actions. So you can do a quick spell and a physical action. But once you've done it once, you can't do it again. So you could then do a standard spell and a physical action. But that's it. Now, from this point onwards, all you're able to do is to do the 2 remaining spells. Now, one thing you can do is you can discard a standard spell to move 1 space. All right? But that's it. And ultimately, we'll get to the point where you'll have used up your physical actions, you will have used up your spells, and that will then bring us to the end of that phase.
Yeah, maybe I wasn't so understanding of this portion.
This bit is actually quite crucial, right? Again, you'll certainly, as we play it through, doing this first round, you'll pick up on why. All right, but so don't worry about it too much here and there.
I thought that on my turn, I was able to like move up to 2 spaces and then do 2 actions.
No.
Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood then.
Okay. No. You're able to do up to two. it's the phrasing. There's two actions, but your action could either be a physical action or casting of a spell. But an action could be casting two spells, because you could do a quick spell and a standard spell. The combination is totally up to you, and you can do it in any order. You could do a physical action.
The first thing I wanted to do was move into a room,
do
what the room action is, and then I wanted to use a spell.
Okay. I'm going to place down your cards for you. Right. I'm going to put that there. And typically in a game, this would all be secret. Nobody would get to see. All right. That's going to be your board. Once we go through it, you'll understand why it's important, right? So it might mean that you might not be able to do something because of just how I've played this out, laid this down. But it's okay. We're just going to be learning. I would need to pick up some points. Okay. Let's do that there. Right. So we've laid out our spells. We then go to the action phase. So here we go. We can perform 1 to 2 actions using prepared spells and action tokens on the board in any combination except a standard spell and a standard spell. Any unused spells can be sent to discard to move 1. So then, what do you want to do? This is your first opening action. You can do 2 things. So what's the first thing you want to do?
I wanted to move into the summoning room.
Okay. So what you're going to do then is you're going to use your action token. So this is the first action. Well, let's call it, you're doing your first action, but this is a physical action. So this is a move, and then you can activate in that room. Now, you can do that in any order. Granted, there's nothing to activate in your cell, so you want to actually do the physical move and then activate. You can move up to 2, so you just want to move once. And then you want to activate this particular room, the summoning room, and so you get to summon the Cerberus evocation, which means this now flips because it has been used, and you get to have Cerberus. So, as we know, Cerberus can move 3, can hit for 2, and has 2 health. So we need to give you a Cerberus. So there's a whole load of counter
How many health
discs.
do I have?
Sorry, what?
How much health do I have?
12. And I have
Okay.
11.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find... Oh, hang on. Okay. And so we put on the server, we put on it a little rose token. Because you can control 3 evocations. So you now have Cerberus with you. Okay. So that was your first part of your action. So you've done that. We flip this, means you can't use it again. Now, you have the opportunity, and you don't have to do this. You could use your quick spell, or you can use your first standard spell. So your quick spell... Okay, so your quick spell is, I put that down as a Meteor Storm. So if you had to quickly do some damage, bam, you can do it no matter what. Because the quick spell is like the fast draw, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But your first spell is the Obscure Explosion. So inflict 2 damage on each model in the target room. And then you would be able to swap tokens around. Now remember, you don't necessarily have to use another action. It would just go over to me. Or you could discard that spell so that you could then potentially, so you could move 1 space, and it would mean that you're further down the path of your spells because your next spell is the Demon's Howl. And the Demon's Howl, as you know, allows you to move your evocation. What will happen in the game is that we will use all of our spells and use all of our actions before it is the evocation's chance to move. So this is allowing you to move the evocation and then move the evocation again when it comes to its phase. It's like a bonus move.
Or I could just wait.
Or you can just wait. Yeah, oh yeah.
I guess I'll just wait.
You're just going to wait. Okay, so it comes over to me then. I am going to use my action token, and I'm going to do exactly the same as you. I'm going to move and then activate a room. So I am moving to the throne room, the treasure room, and the treasure room awards me 1 point. So I've scored a point. All right.
So the cell is our starting area, and
Yes.
each of us is a mage?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure I'm understanding the words. Sorry.
That's all right. That's okay. Right. So I now have the opportunity to cast one of my spells if I want to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast my... So I've done 1 action. Remember, you can do 2. I'm going to cast my first spell, which is Invoke Obscurity. This has a range of 2. So remove any 1 undead from the target room to gain 2 points. Or lose 1 point to summon a Bone Knight. So what I'm going to do is my target room is up to 2. 1, 2. So the Black Rose room. I'm going to lose that point that I just gained from the treasure room. And I'm going to summon a Bone Knight. So just need to go through here. Need to find a Bone Knight. So this is... There he is. He's a bit bigger than the Landsknecht. What is he? He can move 2, he can hit for 4, and he has 4 health. So we'll put him there. I need to get his token. There he is. And again, you can buy expansion packs for this where there's beautiful, beautiful miniatures. So I have summoned a Bone Knight, and he has come crawling up out of the floor in proper Ray Harryhausen style in the Black Rose room.
And what's his strength?
He has 4 health, and he can do a hit for 4. He can really whack you. Is that Blade Mark? I think it might be. Unfortunately, Blade Mark, your text name is blue against a blue background. But welcome, good evening. How are you? I hope you're well. All right. So I have used that spell. So we'll just turn that over so I know that it's been done. Goes back over to you now. And again, you can now do 2 things. So you can cast one of your spells, or you can do one of your movement actions. Totally up to you.
Can I move, activate, then spell?
Yes, you can. Remember the spells that you have available to you.
Oh, I know. Would be my quick one.
It'll be a quick one, or
my obscure explosion.
Exactly. Yes.
I got notes.
Okay, good. So just so to be sort of kind of clear on this, right? Sometimes you might want to use one of your spells, not because necessarily it's going to hit me or hit one of my evocations, but for the sheer fact of destabilizing the room that you're in, if that spell allows you to do so.
Well, what I wanted to do was move up 2.
Yes.
Activate my quest.
Right, okay. So you're using your second physical action, which is a move and then activate. So we do that. So it goes 1, 2. And because you activate the room, which was train your body, activate in the forge.
Activate my. Can I activate the quest before the room?
No, this is part of it.
Or does that not matter?
Yeah,
okay.
This quest card takes over the room. So instead of doing the normal room effect, you gain, is it 1 movement and 1 punch, and inflicting an additional 1 damage with this punch. Oh my goodness, I can see what you're doing. So basically, yeah. So you now can move for 1 and hit something. What's your normal hit? Your normal hit is 2. You can move for 1 and hit something for 3. Is there anything 1 space away that you could move to and clobber for 1?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That thing.
That thing. Well, that's it. So it's simply done. So you move here. Right? And you're now doing 3 points of damage against my guy.
Which means, though, I need to use one of my spells to get the 4th to kill it?
Oh, well, possibly. Hang on. Let me just put the 3 points. I'm putting those 3 in there. So he's taken 3 points. Done. Okay? So that's the first part of your action. Now, you can now cast one of your spells. You can either cast the Meteor Swarm, or the Obscure Explosion.
Now, if I do Obscure Explosion, though, it'll hurt me, right?
No. Inflict 2 damage on each model in the target room. And then what you would be able to do is if there were any instability
things
points,
I could convert them.
You could
but
convert
then
them.
If I use this, that spell will be gone, which means that I could use my Demon's Howl next time.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, then let's use that.
All right. So you're doing 2 points of damage, which ultimately now takes out my guy.
And then do I get points for that?
No, you don't.
Oh.
I'm going to put that there. But the thing is, it means I don't have a minion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? So that's the advantage of it. So you've got rid of something that potentially would be doing damage to you. So that's cool. All right. That then brings you to the end of your sort of turn. Goes over to me. What am I going to do? So what I am going to do is I'm going to use my physical action to move.
So my little buddy doesn't follow me around. He stays in that room.
He stays there until his phase. Don't worry about him.
Okay.
So I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to move to the arena and activate the room. And activating the room means that I get to do my quest. Remember, these are all points, but these are points at the end of the game. So I activate, instead of a normal room effect, I cast 1 spell from my hand. Now then, so I've got that card. That quest has been completed, which is cool.
Those are like a one-time thing then, right?
Yes, the quests
Okay.
are, yeah. So my hand is the cards that I have not used. Is it the cards? I'm just going to make sure this is correct. Let me just have to bear me a second, because you put the cards. Let's go to the glossary. And because that's the thing, so your spells move in different phases depending where they are on the actual board. So you have the library, which is your deck, your cards here that you do not know. Then you have your grimoire, which is your cards. I think it is your cards in your... The grimoire is the cards in your hand, because then you have your cards that you've learnt that are on your board. So this is the bonus. You're able to take a spell from here.
Grimoires and hand are two different decks. Because if you go in the Oracle room, it says pick one card of your choice from your grimoire and add it to your hand.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's it. Oh, I understand. Okay, yes.
I think grimoire is your spells and stuff.
So yeah. So you have the library, which are spells that you have not learnt. You have the grimoire, which are spells that you potentially are going to put onto your board. But when you draw up those, we drew up four cards, and we've put all 4 cards down on our board, haven't we? You didn't necessarily have to put all 4 cards down, right? You could have just put down 2. And that being the case, the other 2 would stay in your hand. So because I put all of my cards down, I don't have that option. But it means that abilities like that would have suddenly been able to play a card that I hadn't planned for. All right. No, that's good. That's good. Good. All right. Back over to you. Now then, you do not have any movement actions now. All you can do now is cast your spells. But now you have the opportunity, right, that you can do your quick spell, which is Meteor Storm, and or you can do the Demon's Howl at this moment. But remember, you can discard spells to give you 1 movement point.
Then I could do movement and then...
So you could discard you could discard a spell to do movement. You could discard another spell to do a movement, and that would then be the end of your go. Or you could cast your quick spell and a standard spell. Or you could discard a standard spell and cast your quick spell.
So what I'm saying is, like, I could discard one and then do some spells.
Yes, you can. Yes.
So discard one to move.
Yeah.
So I could discard my Ice Burst.
Okay. So if you discard that, so that goes into a discard pile now at the side. So you can now move.
But do I get 1 move or 2 moves?
1.
Okay.
Where do you want to move to?
Do I get to do 2 spells or just 1?
Just 1.
Oh.
Remember, you're only ever able to do 2 actions, but what those actions are and in what order is up to you, right? But you've used up what we call the physical actions, where it allows you to move 2. You're now discarding spells, right, to allow you just to move 1. It's so that you could get out of trouble quickly if needed. But ultimately, we're kind of coming to the end of our action phase.
Okay, then instead of discarding, then I'll just do my Demon's Howl.
Okay.
And stay where I'm at.
All right. So Demon's Howl. 1 of your evocations may act immediately. So you've used that spell. Your evocation. So the evocation can move up to 3 spaces. Where do you want to move him?
What is his brain?
He can move. He can move 3. So
but he doesn't have range.
No, he doesn't have range. No, he has to be actually in the room, and then he basically does clobbering combat.
I guess move him up to the one below you.
So you want to go 1, 2, 3. You're going to go to the room of mirrors. All right, there he is. There you go. So you have the opportunity to cast another spell, or discard a spell for you to physically move once.
Well, none of my spells would hurt anybody.
No, because you're not in line of sight with me. But of course, by casting the spell, you would do instability in the room that you're within, which is the Black Rose room. Just so you're aware, I don't know how well you can see. For example, this particular room is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 instability markers before that room is destroyed.
That one has a lot more.
Black Rose room has loads more. Yes. It's was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I already put one in there because I used the Demon's Howl.
Was that an instability? No. Demon's Howl does not have instability.
Oh, I wrote instantly. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just kidding, everyone.
Just testing. Just testing.
If I don't use the spells on the card, can I use the spells next round? Or if I use them, I can still use them next round?
Well, if you use them, you can't use them. They're gone. All right. You could just end your turn here, and it would go over to me, and those spells would still just be sat there for you to be able to use. It's basically once you declare you pass.
Yeah, I passed.
Okay. Well, what, you pass as in you don't want to do anything else anymore, or?
Well, because if I just waste a spell, then I can't use it later.
True. Okay, so let's go over to me then. So what I'm going to do is I can't do any physical actions, just like you, but I can use my quick spell. I'm going to use Ice Grip. And I'm just going to double check, because yeah, it's for 2 single models, isn't it? Yes, inflict 3 damage on the target model. So my Icy Grip of Death onto your Cerberus. 3 damage. He has 2 health. I'm afraid he is dead. So he's off the board. So that's one spell that I've done.
Things are made.
And let me just... so mine does have an instability marker. So I'm going to put a cube just in there. And there's nothing else I can do, but... Ooh, what shall I do? What shall I do? Because I could discard one of my spells to basically give me a movement point. But no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stay where I am. Okay, over to you.
I passed.
Right, okay, so let me just double check then. Is that... So, let's just check. Action phase. Oh, so after each mage has performed their actions, play continues in the same order until all mages have exhausted their available spells and physical action tokens. So, I think we do have to use up everything. Yeah, we've got to continue. So basically, what happens is you use your spells as either movement or actually using them if you can do so. So we kind of got to keep going. So either use your spells to move, or, I mean, what you could do, if you think about it, you've got 2 spells left. You've got standard on the 3rd slot, and you've got your quick. So what you could do is you could use your standard to move 1, either to here, and then you could use your Meteor Storm, because it's got a range of 2, so 1, 2. You could do your Meteor Storm to do 4 points of damage against me.
Right, but then I'll be in your line of sight for you to do damage to me.
Yes. Okay. And that is kind of part and parcel of the game. Remember, it is deathmatch.
So we have to use every single card that's out, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then can I just get rid of both of them to do 2 movements?
Yes, you could do if you wanted to. Yeah, and you could run away.
Sure, put me in the cemetery.
Ooh, okay. So turn that, and you go 1, 2. All right, that's you done. Right, okay. So then it goes over to me. I
don't activate the room. I'd have to do that on my next round, right?
Exactly, yes, because these were just sort of bonus movement. So I'm going to discard my Obscurity's Grasp to do 1 movement. I'm going to move here into the treasure room. And then I'm going to use my final spell, Graze. Inflict 2 damage on each model in the target room. I have a range of 2. 1, 2. In each adjacent room, I could convert on each model and inflict 1 damage on it. So it doesn't matter. But basically, I use this spell, and I do 2 points of damage against you.
Well, so darn it, I shouldn't have been nice. Oh, well.
No, that's... Okay, so... One important thing about this game, you cannot be nice, right? Oh. This game is brutal. It is a case of you want to take hits, as many as you possibly can, whenever the opportunity arises. You cannot hold back.
And I wasted my last one. Okay.
A little bit. So that's how your board is now. You've got 2 points of damage on you. You've used up all of your spells. You've used up your 2 actions. All right. We then go to Phase 5, the Evocations. So each player activates their evocations. Well, neither of us have evocations anymore, but you sort of saw how the evocation works. So you would have been able to move, and you would have been able to hit somebody if you were able to get into a room with them. But we completely skipped that. And then we go to Phase 6, the Cleanup. So all spell cards on the mage boards go into their memories, which basically is your discard. So we get rid of all those, and we'll put them...
Because I assume that once you use all of them, you just redistribute them?
Yes, you'll end up shuffling them back in. And this is where you're building up a deck, because you now know that these cards have been used, and ultimately, in your grimoire... So these are your discard cards. This is your grimoire. And you have 5 cards. Is it 5? Yeah, 5 cards. Once all these 5 have been used up and gone into here, right, we will then shuffle this, and then you start again. But you're seeding in new cards into your grimoire all the time. And so slowly but surely, you're building up your power as a mage. So we'll put those there. Reset action tokens, so we are able to move around again. Check instability on any rooms. No, everything's okay. Reset players' action tokens and room activation tokens. So the yellow ones stay, but the summoner room, this is now active again, as is the treasure room. All right. And if any room was unstable, we would flip that room. Right. that is one complete round. So what have we done? Neither of us effectively have scored any points. Black Rose is on 2 points. You have 2 points of damage against you currently.
It's odd that even if you kill like a creature, you don't get any points for it.
You don't get any points for killing the creature, but the thing is, remember, the creature could be doing damage against your opponent, which once you kill the opponent, you get points.
Still, you'd think you'd get like a bonus point for killing it.
It's kind of because us mages are sort of, high-powered. The creatures don't mean anything to us, so there's no bonus to them. It's only getting the other mages that, are worth something to us. So we look down our noses at them slightly. All right. So, start again in the order. Back to the Black Rose. So check which player has the crown. That player becomes the first player. You still have the crown because you have to go to the throne room to take the crown. All right. So you still got it. We do not have... So you could have discarded a quest if you wanted to, but we've both completed our quest, so we don't need to do that. We shift events to the right, so that moves along one. We then draw a new event. And what's this? Impatience, I think that is. The Black Rose inflicts 2 damage on each mage without any cards in their hand. Okay, well, that's both of us. We take 2 points of damage. So...
that would constantly happen to everybody if every single time...
Yes.
Use up, you have to use your cards.
Yeah, I remember I told you that the Black Rose actually will do damage. Well, this is the thing. So when we get to the point of choosing our spells, we might want to keep some of our spells in our hand because this is going to keep on doing it until it phases out. Yeah, that's actually a serious consideration. And now it gains 2 points. 1, 2. Told you that the lodge itself could actually be the winner. Right? It could determine that we were not worthy of becoming the Grand Mage. So we've done that. Each player with 0 quests draws one. Right? I don't have a quest. You don't have a quest. So, your quest. The Room of Rings is activated in the throne room. Gosh, you're doing so good as far as being right next door to where you need to go. So you need to go to that room. Instead of a normal room effect, take the crown from the player who has it. If necessary, then give it to another player. Oh, that's interesting. So you would complete the quest.
Points for completing the quests?
You just get 1 point. So you'd complete the quest, but you're giving me the crown.
Did you give us our quest points from last time?
No. What happens is those points get tallied up once we get to the end of the game. This is where we both might get up to 30 points, but these quests are what makes the difference. Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to come to here, activate the room, but ultimately you're going to give me the crown. I'll be the first player next time. My quest is cultivating magic. I have to get to the garden. The garden's all the way over here. Instead of a normal room effect, place 2 tokens on any one adjacent room. 2 instability tokens on an adjacent room. Oh, that's quite cool. I'll put that over here because that's been finished. So that goes there. All right. We have our quests. So, draw 2 cards from your grimoire. So the grimoire is here. 1, 2. There's your 2 cards. So let's find out what you've got. You've got Fire Dash. It has a range of 3. Shift to the target room, then inflict 1 damage on each model. So this is a
range of what?
3.
Okay, and then repeat what it does.
So you'll move up to 3 spaces and then where you finish, you'll do 1 damage on each model. So basically, it's a fire dash. You're running so fast, and flames are emanating around you.
Okay.
Mighty Whirlwind. So this is target model.
The one from last time.
It is, yeah. Move the target model 1 room. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. So those are the 2 that you've already got. And then we draw up 4 spells from the library. You're going to get to choose 2 of these. All right, here we go. Unstable Arrow. So you can pick this onto 2 characters in the target room. Inflict 2 damage on the target model. Then place 1 instability on the target's current room. Or in the target's current room. Inflict.
What is the range?
Inflict 2 on the target. See, yeah, this doesn't have range. It has... Let me just make sure I'm getting this right. Because it's on a single... I think it is a range of 2. Let me just double check. But it's on a it's range of 2, but on a single model. Let's just double check.
So it's something about 2 characters.
Yes. Yeah, a single model with an indicated range. Yes. So you got a range of 2. So you get to. So it's single model, range of 2. Inflict 2 damage on the target model, then place 1 instability in the target's current room. So if you were attacking me, there'd be 2 damage against me.
In that room.
But in that room, that's it. So that's the Unstable Arrow. Fire of Fates, similar thing. It's on a single model. It's range of 2. The target mage loses 1 quest, or is that draw? Yeah. So you got. I'd have to discard my quest card, which means
and 2 damage.
And no, you gain one point, and the Black Rose would gain 1 point. Or would it? No, actually, no, the Black Rose wouldn't. You gain a point, but I don't have the ability to do my quest. All right. Obscure Explosion. We've done that already, haven't we? Inflict 2 damage on the model in the target room. And Maelstrom. We've done that before. Oh, no, yes, we have. Yes. Yeah, Maelstrom, yes. All right. So which 2 do you want?
To keep?
Yes, 2 to keep.
Now, the ones that you had picked up before and said that I was keeping already was Fire Dash. I get to keep that, right?
Yes, and Mighty Whirlwind.
Okay, so that's going to be in my hand then, correct?
These are all currently in your... those 2 are in your hand. You're going to choose
I want
2 of
Fire of Fates.
Fire of Fates, yep. Okay.
And... Oh,
I like the Unstable Arrow. Unstable Arrow does instability.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. But so does Maelstrom.
But yes, it does. Yes, yes.
I think I'm gonna do the Maelstrom.
Okay, keeping the Maelstrom, right. So these then go into the discard for the library. They go there. All right. We'll come back to your cards in a second. I draw my first 2 from my grimoire, which is Cowardice and Ice Grip. So on Cowardice, what I'm able to do is if any damage that I might have taken from you, I'm able to then convert it over to you instead. And Ice Grip is inflict 3 damage on the target model. All right, so we got those 2. I then have 4 from my library. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have a quick look at these. Make sure they're all in the right direction. Yeah. Summoning Obscurity. Target one of your undead until end game turn. Gain 1 point for each 1 inflicted maximum. That's targeting the undead. We're going to do the Invoke Obscurity. Let's get a Bone Knight going. Oh.
We're picking from just the 5, like...
Do those.
Just the 5 that we discussed for me, those are the only ones I can choose from to put on my board, right?
You have 4 now. You have 4 cards. So here we go. So we've done now the study phase. So this is now the preparation phase. So this is the important bit.
I thought that I had Fire Dash and Whirlwind and Storm and... Oh, I don't have the arrow. Or I do have the arrow.
No, you don't have the arrow. No. You didn't want that. So you had
okay.
You had Fire Dash and Mighty Whirlwind to start off with.
Right. Got it.
Right? And you took 2 more from your library, which was the Fire of Fates and the Maelstrom.
Right.
So
I want Maelstrom, I guess, to be my quick.
Okay.
In the slot 1, I want Fire of Fates.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I can see though where you knowing what I'm doing kind of allows you to kind of prepare.
Believe me, there's enough working parts. I'm not even concentrating on that. But of course, if we were playing this around the table, we would not see. And in fact, you deliberately, your cards are hidden, and we reveal them as we actually play.
Okay. Number 2 would be. Let's go number 2 be the Mighty Whirlwind.
Yep. So then Fire Dash is the thing.
And then Fire Dash is last.
So that is your board laid out.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. I will quickly do mine. Let's do that there. I'm going to put that there. That there. That there. Let's see how that goes. See, you kind of got to also try and second guess your opponents somewhat. As far as what spells they might play, what they might be trying to do. Because, of course, depending on what order you have your spells in can absolutely affect everything. Which is great. It's really, really good. But, yeah. Right. So we have done the preparation phase. Now, remember, so this was an important thing. In fact, you might want to take a card back. Remember, when we get to the end of this round, this card, if we do not have a card in our hand, we did not have to put down all 4 cards. We could keep a card.
I will keep Mighty Whirlwind then.
Okay, and I'm doing yeah. So Mighty Whirlwind. So Fire Dash will go on to 3. I'm going to put that card there. Again, this is it. There's so much cards now everywhere. So these are cards in your hand that are at the top of the board. We've both got 1 each. All right. So if anything says use a card from your hand, those are the cards that you get to use. So yeah, you have the cards on the board, you have the cards in the grimoire, you have the cards in the hand, and you have the cards in the library. A lot of cards, a lot of places. All right. Over to you. So we're right back into...
Can I do an activate spell, then move and activate?
Yes, you could do a spell right off the bat, and then you could do your movement. Yes, for sure.
No. I'm saying, can I activate the room, do a spell, and then move out of the room?
No. So, let me just double check. you can't. You can move and then activate, or activate and then move, and then do a spell, or you could do a spell and then move and activate, or do a spell and then activate and move. You can't put the spell in between the moving and the activating, because they're two separate things.
I can spell, activate, move.
Yes. Yes, you can
Okay,
do
then.
that.
I will do the Fire Fate spell.
Okay. So you're forcing me to lose my quest, which is damn mean of you.
And I get a point.
And you gain 1 point. Oh, wrong one. There you go. You're up to 1 point. Woohoo! It's only taken an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at 0 points, remember?
And then I can activate the room.
So that spell has been used. So now you're going to do a activate room, which allows you to summon the Land Schneck, if I'm saying that right, which is the undead dude. There he is, undead dude. So we put him here. He has a movement of 2, fists of 2, health of 3. Where's the token? Undead dude. There he is.
And then I'll move into the throne room.
Okay, and so we just put... He's there. Oh. And then you move... Oh, that's a zombie, isn't it? It's not a skeleton. Okay, and then you move into there. All right. Awesome. Good first move.
Leave to run away for 1 minute.
You what? Sorry.
Can I run away for 1 minute while you're...
Yeah. You go for it.
Sorry, it's all the water I drank.
Yeah. Ooh. See, this is where I'm working out what I'm going to do, and unfortunately, it's quite mean, which not always a nice thing. You when you play this game, you've got to be prepared to be mean, basically, to one another. That's kind of the whole point. Only the winner gets remembered. So you've got to be happy.
Okay, I'm here.
With doing mean actions. Oh
God, what did you do to me?
I've not done anything yet, but I'm going to do something, and this is where, like I sort of pre-warned, that you absolutely, you can't hold back. If an opportunity presents itself, you've got to do it 100%ly. Even if, it's basically standing on somebody else near enough. Because only the winner counts, ultimately. I'm going to use my physical action, and I'm going to activate the room. So I'm activating the treasure room. I get 1 point. And then I'm going to move. And then I'm going to cast my spell, which is Evanescence Hope, which is on a single target, 2 away. So this is 2, 1, 2. So it's targeting you. Take 1 point away from the target mage to gain 2 points. So I'm afraid you lose your 1 point, and I gain 2. 1, 2. See, it's mean. It's mean. That's my turn done. Over to you.
You just have the fire dash left on the bottom row, right?
You do, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to activate the room I'm in for my quest.
Okay, so let's move that token. The action token's done. So you get a point for that, so we'll move that across. And ultimately, you're giving me the first player token. So that's your first sort of action. So you've got the opportunity to do a second action now.
Now, everything has to be, whenever things have like for my fire dash, where it's a range of 3.
Yep.
But I can move up to 3?
Yes. But
so wait, not for that one. That one's not a good. So Maelstrom, it says like range 2, move adjacent models up to 2. They have to be adjacent to me, right?
Move all models.
Or they have to be adjacent.
No, so you specify a target room, and then you move all adjacent models. So, for example,
to that room.
Yes, to that
room. It has
room.
to be a room up to 2 rooms away from me.
So if this was your target room, right? It's one. It's one room away. What?
Can my target room be around corners?
No, because you've got to do it in a straight line.
Oh, okay. Okay. Are we sure? Because it didn't specify straight line.
Yes, there's absolutely is straight lines, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah. You could do the Maelstrom, you could cast it to here, so that it draws on in. It's like a whirlpool, isn't it? It draws in everything around you into there. Move all models from adjacent rooms to the target room. God, so actually, would that do damage to you as well then? It would, wouldn't it? I wonder if... I'm not quite sure. It would definitely draw your Skelly Warrior into there as well.
So, have you already used up any of your spells?
I've used one of my spells up, yes.
So I activated this room.
Yep. So you have the opportunity to use one of your spells. Or not. You don't have to use a spell. You can, move. Let the turn move on to me now.
No, I still have my movement, though.
Oh, so, yes, you did. Yes, of course, yes, because you activated the room, yes, so you had the movement. So you can move up to 2 spaces, can't you? There's so many choices.
The top room up there is crap. What do you get for that? See, now I got to see what I don't want you doing. So if I pick a room, I can move people that are adjacent to that room up to 2 rooms. Does that mean away from that room?
No. Where you can fire your spell up to 2 rooms away.
But it says move models up to 2 spaces.
Move all models from adjacent rooms to the target room. But the target room can be 2 rooms away.
Okay.
So,
but in a straight line.
In a straight line. So you're here. Your target room.
That's
could
what
be
I wasn't
here.
understand. I figured that the rooms that the room for me could be around the corner. Okay.
No, there's no around the corners. Absolutely not. No. Everything is straight lines in this game.
So, I'd pick up a room up to 2 away from me, and then any adjacent models, they would move into that room?
Yes. So if this was your target room, then all of these rooms, any models in those rooms would be sucked into that room.
Okay, I'm understanding why now. Okay.
Think of it, it's like a whirlpool.
Because then I could use another spell if I had one for like multiple people that I could then use to hurt them all.
Yes. Oh yeah. This is definitely
to corral the people into a room, and then I could like.
Yes. This is
okay.
definitely drawing everybody into one room, and everybody who gets drawn on in gets 2 points of damage. Think of it like a tornado or a cyclone or a whirlpool. It's that. So in other words, if you cast a spell in the target here, everything around here gets sucked into that room.
But then I would hurt my own thing and kill it.
Potentially, yes. Well, it's got 3 health, so it would survive, but it would then be in that room with me.
Yeah.
Remember, they are disposable. Don't look after them like they're your best friend, right? They are there to do your bidding, right? So at this moment in time,
so then let's do
you would get 2 points
Maelstrom.
You'd get 2 points of damage against me. That's important.
Right. Let's do the Maelstrom, and we're gonna do the room in front of me as the target room.
So the bibliothèque.
Yeah. And don't forget that I get a black dot for that one.
You do. So the black dot goes into the throne room.
So everybody moves into that room.
Right.
And then you get 2 damage.
That's there. That's there. I get 2 damage. And we'll use my tokens. Because I don't score points from it, but we know. It's 2 damage on your undead warrior. Each model in the room, yeah. I don't think it would draw you on in, because I think that's, but yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
I think that'd be an interesting thing, because yes, it would have to say like a minimum range, but it doesn't matter. We'll work it with that. All right, so that's your 2. So you decided not.
And then my movement, I'm going to.
No, no. You can't then move if you're going to do the spell, right? Then the movement's been forfeit. You'd have to have moved first.
Activate and spell, and then I can move.
So you've got to. You activated the room, and then you would have to move before then doing the spell.
That you could activate.
No.
That you could do a spell and activate and then move.
No, because what you're doing is you're doing this action. This action is either move and activate or activate and move, but that is all as one action. And then your second action is casting the spell. So these have got to be both done together in either order, but it's all as one element. You've got to do that either first or do it second. So the spell can be cast before or the spell can be cast after, but these 2 have got to be done at the set together. You could probably still, where did you want to move to? Because you could probably still achieve what you want to do.
You just wanted to move 2 rooms away.
Okay, 2 rooms away. So you're here, and you want to be still to be able to have done this. In fact, if you moved 2 rooms up to here to the Oracle room, because remember, I was here, he was there. So if you go 1, 2.
No, put me in the cemetery. Not the cemetery, but the swirly purple room, the sorcerer room, summoning room.
Well, right. Well, the problem then. Oh, hang on.
No, that room was still 2.
Yeah. 1, 2. That goes there. 1, 2. That's the target room. They get drawn on it. There you go. Yep. Same. So we've achieved the same thing.
Except that the green box needs to move.
It does, yeah. And that goes just there. There you go. All right, excellent. Yeah, it's a little confusing, and it's even more confusing the fact of you can't see your board in front of you. But basically, your physical action is an action, but it's two elements within that one action. So you can either activate the room and move, or you can move and activate the room. That's one action. The second action can be casting the spell. But you can't slot a spell in between the other action. It's not like action 1.5.
You can't do an activate and a spell, and then for the second part do your movement.
No. You've got to do activate and move and
confused.
activate. But you could have done the spell first and then move and activate. Or you can do the move and activate, and then there's lots of combinations. You just can't slot the spell in between them.
All right.
Okay, so over to me. Right, well, here we go then. I can no longer get to that garden, so it makes no difference whatsoever. I am going to cast my spell first. So this is remove any one undead from the target room to gain 2 points. Or I lose a point to summon a Bone Knight. So, what do I want to do? I can either get rid of your undead to get 2 points, or I can lose one of my current points to get myself a Bone Knight. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of yours. So I'm going to cast that spell, which gets rid of him. But I gain, was it 2 points? Yeah. 2 points. So 1, 2. I'm up to 5 points. The Black Rose room is up to 4. So that was my spell being done. Oh, I can't do... and then I am going to use my quick spell, which is Ice Grip. I can do this a range of 2. 1, 2. And I'll just double check. Yeah, that doesn't cause any instability, but this does. So put a token in there, and I do 3 damage against you. So put those tokens.
My card, the Fire Dash, where it's the range of 3, move 3, and then do 1 damage. Who's moving where and what?
Sorry, let me just put that there. Okay. All right. Well, that's my turn done. Right, over to you. So your very last card, Fire Dash. Granted, of course, you still have your action. So shift to the target room, so you can basically dash up to 3 rooms away. But wherever you stop, you'll do 1 point of damage on each model that is there. So you can. It's kind of like it's a magical movement spell, but doing damage at the same time as well.
I can't move unless I discard that card, though.
No, it's a spell.
No, I know that,
right,
but
okay.
I can't move my figure because I'm out of movements.
No, you still have one of your action tokens, so you can move.
Okay.
So that's, one of these tokens still remains, but that's your last 2 things. You got 1 action token and you got 1 spell left.
So I can activate and move, and then do a spell.
And which would be moving again, as even more so. Yes.
Okay. Well, I want to activate the room I'm in.
Okay. So you're going to activate, summon Cerbero. So let's conveniently, we have everything.
Before we do that, can I donate my card for an activation of a room?
Donate your card for activation of a room. No.
Yes, so if I still have a move and I want to move into a room, but I want to activate that room, I can't discard my spell card to do that?
No. Discarding spell cards can only be used for that one additional movement. That's it. Okay, so you have...
So then maybe I don't want to activate this room.
Okay.
Instead, can I move into the abyss and activate it?
So you're going to move to the abyss. I don't know what the abyss does, but let's find out. Return
Oh,
a
the
mage...
abyss says that you have to go back to your cell.
Go to your room.
Go to your room?
Yeah, basically. All right, so you've moved. You've activated the abyss. I get pushed all the way back there. That's really mean. Okay. That is your action done. So you now can cast that spell, which is your fire dash.
Or I can save it for a move.
Or you can use it for one movement point, yes.
I think I'm going to save it.
Okay. Right. So it comes over to me then.
Because I might still want to use it depending on whatever you do.
That treasure room should have been flipped because I activated that. Didn't I? I did the ice grip on you, didn't I? So that's been done. So literally all I have left now is my action. Where could I go that would which would be cool? What's in there? So we got my little cheat card. Ah, okay, there you go. Like I say, it's all about taking advantage as much as you can. So I'm going to just use my final physical action. I can move 2. So I go 1, 2. I go to the sacrificial altar. Inflict 1 damage on any model in play. So you take 1 point of damage. Done. So that's me completely done. Back over to you. You have your fire dash.
Which is a range of 3.
Yep.
Move 3, 1 damage. What?
So basically you can move up to 3 spaces, and wherever you end, if there are any models there, they will take 1 damage.
Oh, not within 3 of that.
No.
Not within a range of 3.
You got to think of it. You're running. There's fire behind your heels, and as you skid to a halt, everything around you just catches on fire.
Yeah, but how dangerous is it to land in the same square as you?
Well, we will both effectively come to the end of this round, right? So it's going to start. Remember, the next round is going to start with me. To be honest, Sarah, you need to do it.
Yeah, fire dash into the room with you and just kind of poke you, I guess.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Any opportunity that you have to do damage against me, you should take.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you're doing the fire dash. So you run like the Flash.
I will say, this is very difficult.
1, 2, 3.
I think I would really like this game if I had access to like see it in person. You know, I think it's very difficult to kind of play this game via satellite.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's very 90s. Hello, Augie. Thank you so much for the resub. How are you?
Hello. Because I have so many screens open to like look at what the room does, looking at the board to look up close. I have it on my tablet. I have stream playing so I can see an overall view for anything that I might be missing, like chat. Yeah. Because I have split screen on the laptop and then split screen on the.
No, absolutely. This is.
But I think I'm getting it. I just need to be meaner.
Yes, most definitely. So if there's any advice, that is definitely the first thing that you need to do. Anytime you could score a point, right, then a point of damage against somebody, you do it, right? You cannot be nice at all. You've got to go 100%.
All right.
It's 5 to 9 already. We've literally just done 2 rounds, so it's up to you whether you want to. But
I'm figuring it out. I want to keep going.
Do you want to do another round?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll keep going. Because yes, that's the thing is as we build momentum up, things will I
needed less help this round, I think.
You did. You no, absolutely. So, okay, so that's all the actions done. It would go to the evocations. All the evocations have been wiped out, so that's done. So we go to the cleanup. We discard all the cards that we've spent our spells. We put them away. Now this is going to be interesting for this particular round. We activate our physical action tokens again. All right. Oh, you're good, Augie. That's good. I'm hoping that you've got some pleasant weather. It's been quite nice here in the UK for the last couple of days. Right, so we're starting. It's been gorgeous here. We're starting round 3. So we check which player's got the crown. That's me. So I'm like the first player now. If we had any quests that we wanted to discard, we could do so. Well, I have no quests. You've completed your quests. We shift.
You gonna play for completing mine?
At the end of the game, you will do.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We collect it. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, we shift the events across, but we have to double check. And so the Black Rose inflicts 2 damage on each mage without any cards in their hand.
We made sure that's not the thing.
Sorry. Oh, bad me. This card. So, in fact, this card, when it was played, I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see. Can you see the little icon? So basically, it says that when this card was played, the Black Rose gets 2 points. But this card gets played in the very last section. So in fact, it was only in play for this 1 turn. Because what happens now is it jumped over that card.
You already gave them the points.
Yes.
You gave them the points for it already.
So this card is now discarded. Goes over there. Black Rose gets 2 points.
Right. But they had already gotten their 2 points.
Yeah, but
I thought that you gave them 2 points earlier.
I did, but this is an additional 2 because it's now discarded. It's ended. This card moves along here, right? But what's happened is the Black Rose has got to the half moon. And this now changes the game. So we get rid of the crescent event cards. And we replace them with the half moon event
I don't think
cards.
we're a worthy monkey. I don't think our wizards are worthy.
I think the Black Rose is going to decide that it's we get rid of the Crescent Moon quests.
You were off looking for your wand the whole time. This one over here kept trying on different hats. None of y'all are worthy.
And we now get half moon quests. All right. So they go in there. All right. So we now need to draw up a half moon event. Knowledge.
We had good weather until today. Sorry.
Each player having at least 1 spell in their hand must select 1 and give it to the player on their right. Oh my goodness me. So this card gets played, goes there. The Black Rose gets 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And what happens now, this is where it gets confusing, is we swap the spell cards that we have in our hands with one another. So I get a Destruction Whirlwind, and you get the Cowardice. Oh, hang on, wrong. Yeah, Cowardice. So this is convert 4 damage on the target mage.
What does that mean?
Oh, goodness, right. If you cast this spell on me,
You get 4 damage, I get 4 health?
Well, but what happens? No, it's not health. Is actually, how would that work? You basically. Oh, let's. I've got to read into this. It's kind of like a swapping of damage against one another. Hang on, because I'm not quite sure. Cowardice. Convert up to any of the 4 damage on the target mage.
Well, that's cryptic.
So, no. So what would happen is there is 2 black rose damage on my board. So those 2, you could eventually turn them into your colour. That's what would happen. Okay?
No, I don't understand.
Let me just show you my board. So you see how I've got 2 black and 3 green. You could convert those 2 black into 2 green.
Which would do what?
Which would mean that ultimately, if you killed me, you would get more points.
Oh, okay.
It's all about the points, right?
Okay.
And if you're able to kill me outright,
not being able to see boards and stuff.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I totally understand. So we've swapped.
Okay.
We've swapped cards, and the Black Rose got additional points. It's well in the lead. The Black Rose is absolutely winning this game.
And that one has a black dot on that card, right? The cowardice?
It does, yes. It does, yes. It's an instability card. All right.
Okay.
So
sorry, I say black dot. It looks like a black dot, so that's what I write down.
Yeah. So we're drawing new quests. My quest is to go to the pleasures room. Hey, whispers. Instead of the normal room, I get to take 2 quest cards. All right. So I want to go and get to the pleasure room. You want to go to the oracle room. We're going to the same place, near enough. Steal knowledge. So during the activation, look at the grimoire of another mage of your choice instead of your own. Oh, okay. So you'd be able to
Get your board?
during the activation, look at the grimoire of another mage of your choice. I don't think are you able to take? Yeah, you'd be able to take spells from my grimoire.
And like put in my library or whatever?
Yeah, well, put them into your hand. Yes. That's quite cool. These are worth both 2 points each at the end of the game. Okay, if you're able to accomplish them. Right, so we now take 2 cards from our grimoire. So I'm going to take my first 2, so I've just got 1 left now. I get Vampire's Bite. Inflict 2 damage on the target model to heal myself by 2. And then Putrefy. Inflict 3 damage on the target model. If the target is a mage, they also lose 1 Black Rose point. Right, so those are quite cool. I'm going to put that there. I then take 4 cards from the library. I have a look through. What have we got? Bone Armor, defensive card. When you suffer damage, you may inflict the same damage on that which inflicted it up to a maximum of 5. I'm going to keep that. That's quite a cool card, isn't it? We've got Obscurity's Grasp. Shift one of your undead into a room with at least 1 mage, and then they may hit it. Summon Obscurity. Target one of your undead. Invoke Obscurity. We're going to do that one. All right. Where was it gone? Over to you. You have... Oh, sorry. those are your cards. So the first 2 cards is you have Fireball. Inflict 3 damage on each model in the target room. Target's defensive spells.
We've never seen this card before, right?
No, this is a new card for you.
Okay. So I needed to know that. Hold on. Fireball?
Fireball. Okay. So target 3 damage on each model in the target room. Target spells, defensive spells may not be triggered. Range of how many? A range of 1.
Range of 1. You can target how many?
No, it's just
target up 3?
It's every model in that room. It's an area effect. But you'll take 3 damage.
3 damage, including myself?
No.
No. Okay. So, but it could be up to one room next to me. Okay.
Yes, yeah. And then the other one is Destructive Bolt. Again, it's a range of 1. Inflict 3 damage on each model in the target room. Flip the target room's activation token as if it's been activated. So this would stop that room from being used, potentially. Okay, so those are the 2 that you've got ready. We then draw up from the library. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So those ones I get for this round.
Yeah, so these are the ones you've already got, but now you're going to choose 2 from this selection. Here we go. What do you have? And some of these you might know. So here we go. Fire Dash. You've already used that. Ice Burst. Range of 1. Inflict 2 damage on each model in the target room. Mm-hmm. And mages cannot use physical actions. Mm-hmm. Meteor Swarm. This is a range of 2. Mm-hmm. Inflict 4 damage on each model in the target room. And then Obscure Armor. When you suffer damage from another model, you may avoid the damage, and instead that model suffers 1 damage. Right?
So pretty much save yourself, they get 1 damage.
Yeah. Now this is a rule that I did not explain before because it hadn't come up. These protective spells, which have the shield icon to them, they can trigger as soon as something requires them to do so. So in other words, if I was to fire a spell at you that was going to do you damage, if you had chosen that spell and put it onto your board, it could instantly trigger. Hence, then those effects would take place.
And how much damage does it save up to?
When you suffer damage from another model, you may avoid the damage, and that model would suffer 1 point.
Okay.
All right. So those are the 4 you've got. Which 2 do you want to add to your board, or to your hand? Let's say it's adding these to your hand.
Fireball and Bolt were already added, right?
Yes, those are already there. They're in your hand.
Okay. So the other 2 that I want to keep then would be the Meteor Storm.
Yep.
And the armor.
Yeah, good call. Okay, so these 2 go back into the discard. Now, here we go. This is where things get a little bit more interesting.
But I still have Cowardice in my hand.
Exactly. Well, this is it. Yeah, you've jumped ahead. But there we go. Hang on. I need to pick my... Oh, no, I've already done it, haven't I?
Yeah,
so,
you were player 1.
Yeah. So I have... These are the cards I have in my hand. I have now 5 cards in hand. And I can play up to 4 cards on my board. So this is where I can keep some of these cards in my hand if I want to use them in those special abilities, and prevent anything that might come up. And of course, I have one of your cards. So Mage and Tyrant cannot leave it if using physical actions or spells. Ah, okay. That's interesting. Right, so I'm going to choose what I want to do. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put that there. That goes in there, and that goes in there. And we'll put that there. All right. How do you want... So I'm going to bring your board. Oh, hang on. Need to reset that. And reset that. Next turn, we'll get the yellow rooms coming back on it. So here's your board. How do you want your setup? And remember, you have that additional... But you have a
Meteor
necromancy
Storm.
skill. Yep.
Quick spell.
Quick spell. Okay, yeah.
Fireball first.
Yep.
Bolt second. Armor third.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Done. Right. We're all prepared, and I think we know how this is going to go. Yeah. Okay. So I start off. I am going to use my Vampire's Bite. I'm going to do 2 damage on you straight away. So 2 little cubes. Done. But I get to heal myself for 2. So I take those and put them back. And I am going to use my movement action to move 2. 1, 2. Takes me to the forge. And the forge, by activating it, allows me to move 1. Gonna get to the garden. All right. Over to you. Are you thinking?
Okay.
Strategizing. Well, I should just double check that that wasn't a... Oh, that was an instability spell that I just did. So, put that in there. There we go.
Okay, I'm going to move 2 to the purple, to the crypt, I think.
Okay, you're moving. You mean this one over here? This is the armory. The crypt is right next to you.
Oh. Oh, then I looked at the wrong thing. Hold on. I don't have a... It says cast a protection spell from your hand, but I don't have one in my hand.
No.
So that just means I don't need to activate that room.
In essence, yeah.
But I could activate the room I'm in, causing you 1 damage, and then do my 2 movements, and then do spells from there.
You could, yes.
So we're going to activate the room I'm in right now.
Okay, so I take 1 damage.
And then I'm going to move 2 into that purple.
You mean to the armory?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And
1,
now
2.
I'm going to do 2 spells.
Oh, you can do 1 spell.
No, I can do a quick and a standard.
No, because you've just done you've done your movement action, so you can cast 1 spell now.
Well, then what's the thing about doing a quick and a standard?
Because that would be your 2 actions. You just don't get to move. Remember your.
So it's a move and a spell, not a move and 2 spells.
Okay, hang on. Hang on. Where is it? There we go. All right. They do. In fairness, in the rule book, it is there and it's all laid out. So these are all the possible combinations. So remember, in your action phase, you're able to do 2 actions, but what they are can be intermingled within reason. So you can do a physical action, which can be either the moving and activating, or the fighting and activating. But you could just do that once. You could do it twice if you wanted to, because you have 2 available. But once they've been used, that's it. This is what we're kind of doing a lot of. We're doing the movement and activating and using a standard spell. Or we move and activate and use a quick spell. And of course, these could be flipped, so it could be the quick spell first and then the move and activating. But then, following that, you could do a standard spell and a quick spell. You can do a standard or a quick spell, one of each. You could discard a spell to gain a... you could discard a spell and then either do a physical action or a standard or a quick.
I'll just do one spell then.
So yes, because you've done your activating the room and you've done your movement, the only thing that's left to you now is either casting one of your spells, either a quick spell or a standard spell, or doing your second physical action, as in moving and activating again, or fighting.
I want to use that spell, but it's the second one, so I can't. So I have to use Fireball.
Fireball being the first one, yes. Okay. So inflict 3 damage on each model in the target room, and a target's defensive spell cannot be triggered. So I do have my bone armor, and that being the case, it's not effective. So you've just done 3 points of damage against me.
And I get to put a square in my...
And you get to put a point in just there. There you go. All right. That's the end of your turn. I am going to... I'm going to have to do it, Sarah. I'm sorry. See,
you gonna kill me?
I'm going to kill you. Yeah, but
do it.
But it's not too. It's not too bad. Okay, because all it does is it gains me a point. So I'm going to do my putrefy. Inflict 3 damage on the target model. So
it only brings me down to 3 or 1, right?
You're -1. You're dead now.
I thought that I'm at 4.
I just did. Well, I remember I did 2 damage against you before with my vampire.
Wait, but I was at 6. Where'd the extra 2 come from?
Because I did the vampire's bite.
No. All the damage you've done to me, it had me from 10 to 7 to 6, and then down to 4. So, if I'm only down to 2, what did... Because the rose did damage, I guess?
Yeah, the rose has done damage there, yeah. That every time we've taken damage, I've put the cubes on in.
So when I die, though, before you touch anything, what would happen to me?
So what's going to happen is you're going to get pushed all the way back to your cell, right?
No.
And all of your damage is reset. Other than that, that's it.
No, thank you. I'll just use my armor and not have any damage.
Okay.
And it does damage to you instead.
That's true, yes. Okay, so you've used that armor. I've used that spell. And I take 1 point of damage. Just so for transparency, there's only 3 points of health left to me now.
Okay, I had you at 5, so I'm just missing whenever the black rose hurt us.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So yes, so that your armor has instantly defended against my my thing there. And what was it? Wasn't instability, so that's fine. Now I was doing a spell. I could move, couldn't I, to do this pleasure room? Shall I just do that? Let's get what's the pleasure room. Draw 1 quest card. I would end up drawing 2. I'm going to do that, so I will use my final movement. I'm going to move here, activate that, which allows me to complete this quest. Typically, you would draw 1 quest at that room. Now I get the opportunity to draw 2. So we got 1, 2. Restart. I need to go to the Abyss and Mimic Room. I need to go to the Room of Mirrors. So we've got to come to here and to here. So I now have 2 quests to fulfill. All right. That's me done. Over to you.
So I could move down into the garden and activate it, which would place a token in there.
So you're into the garden. Place 1 instability token either in this room or in an adjacent one. So where do you want it? In the garden or somewhere else?
Sure.
Pardon?
Sure, in the garden works.
In the garden, yeah. Okay, done. All right. Oh, and we need to turn that over, and the pleasures room needs to be turned over.
I'm going to use my bolt.
Your destructive bolt. Oh! Okay, well, so straight away, by firing that, you're causing instability in that room. Done. And inflict 3 damage on each model in the target room. Flip the target room's activation token as if it's been activated, but it's already been done so.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
If my little green button is if I just have 1 in the room, do I still get a point for it if you don't have any?
1 in the room.
So like instead of putting my little marker in the garden, if I had put it in the forge, and let's say it's time to do points, would I get a point for the forge?
No. No, because you've not destroyed the room. I don't think so. Hang on.
Oh, it's not just a matter of having more colors in there than somebody else. You have to destroy it.
You got to destroy it, but then when you're determining who actually wins from that destroyed room, it's based on the number of colors that are in there.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We've not got anywhere near that.
Ignore that. So yeah, I'm gonna use that bolt card on you.
Okay. Well, that being the case, then you have killed me. Right.
Okay.
So I die. I go all the way back to here. All that gets reset. And you get a nice little sort of frag token to say that you killed me. And that's it. Which is worth points at the end of the game. So that's as bad as death actually is. I think I've done that correct. Let's just make sure. And that was your destructive bolt, so that's been done. And let's just make sure. So when a mage is defeated, return their figure to the cell. The other mages have been awarded power points according to the damage they've inflicted on the mage. So, did you do the most damage? You did. You get 4 points. Okay, so you get 4 points, and you'll get additional points at the end. So that's good. There you go. Whoa. So that kill actually brings you up pretty close. That's the end of your turn. It's now my turn. I have just two spells left.
Even if you die, your spells and stuff still stay there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing gets reset in that regard. You just end up going back to the room, and that's the whole sort of idea. Is it's deathmatch. So your health goes back to 0 now. So you've got to then build it all back up again if you want to try and get another kill. But if you think about it, it's 4 points a kill. It's potentially 5 points a kill if it's only you who does the kill. The fact that the Black Rose had a couple of points on me as well means that you lost a point. But there you go. So what do I want to do? I'm just going to use a spell to move. Go into there. And I'm going to use my other spell, Invoke Obscurity, to summon a Bone Knight. I lose a point, and I get a Bone Knight who comes out next to me just there. There you go. Right, over to you. You have basically your Meteor Storm card left.
Right, so I don't have any movements or anything otherwise.
No, that's all been done. So you can discard that card to basically move one space. Or you can fire it, but it's got a range of 2.
Mm-hmm. What is your room below me? Okay, never mind. I see what it is.
Below you is the pleasures room.
What's my physical attack?
What's your what, sorry?
My physical attack.
2.
Okay.
Which is the same for me. So basically, if you end up in a room with somebody and you have the action to be able to do so, you can just punch them in the face.
Oh yeah, that's like in
2.
the same room. That's not a range of 1. That's same room.
No, same room.
Okay. Then...
Unless you had very long arms.
I guess... The movement only lets you go 1 and not 2, correct?
1, just 1.
Then I'll just stay where I'm at. So I guess pass.
Okay, well, that being the case, what you've got to use that card. Remember, so you.
Okay, I'm shooting.
Yeah, so you shoot the card, which then.
Oh yeah, I'm shooting the card because then that gets me a black dot in the room.
Exactly. Yes.
That wasn't supposed to be my plan, but I forgot. I'm sorry.
Okay, so that goes in there.
Okay. That was my plan. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. All right. So that's basically, we've used up all of our actions.
Okay, one more round.
No, hang on. No, we're at half past. Are you sure you want to do another round? Because
I mean, if you don't need to go to bed.
Yeah, but we're getting up to then it'll be 3 hours long.
Right, but
Well, okay. Well, let's get to the end of this turn because that might determine whether you want to continue or not.
okay.
So here we go. So we finish the action phase. We then go to the evocation phase. Each player activates their evocations one at a time in any order. Each evocation can move and then attack. So, that's just rubbish. Oh, I thought I was going to do something fun. So my evocation, 1, 2. That's no good.
Has to be in the same room.
Got to be in the same room. Yeah.
Oh, nuts.
Would have done 4 points of damage against you. So close. It's a good job he didn't move, isn't it? Okay. We then clean up. So all cards go into discard. I think, actually, Sarah, what we'll do is we will call it here because otherwise it will go on far too long. But that gives everybody a good idea of how the game plays out. So basically, when we get to the end, we would take a look at our points. So we are both matched on 4 points.
See, on the next turn, I would have just activated the room I'm in, put the final little square in there, and then nobody could ever use that room again.
That's a good point, yeah. And then you would have actually, in the bank, that's worth 2 points for you. So we've both got 4, so we're even on actual tracking points. I have 3 points from my quests that I have done and completed. You have 2 points from the quests that you have completed.
I thought I completed more quests than you.
Because
those other 2 that you got, you never completed them. You just got to draw them.
Yeah, but actually, hang on.
Because you and I have had the same number of quests, except you lost one because I took it away from you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then you drew 2, but you never got to complete them, I don't think, because you drew them at like the end of your turn.
Yeah, no, you are quite right. I'm trying to find where on earth your other card will have gone then. Pleasures Room and the Arena is definitely 2 places I've been to. You went to the Forge and the Throne Room. So where's
I don't think I ever did. Did I ever do the Oracle?
Oracle?
Yeah, the last one I think was the Oracle. That was my quest, and I don't think I ever made it there.
Excuse me, I haven't. No, exactly, yeah. So, yes, there you go. It's here. So that would be the 3 cards, wouldn't it?
Those are my 3. My 3 were the Throne, the Oracle, and then the...
Yeah, so you've completed 2, and you had 1 left.
The Forge. I did the Forge.
Yeah, I've got the Forge, and I've got the Throne Room. So the Oracle's the one that you haven't completed. I completed 2, and it's allowed, but I lost 1, but it's allowed me to pick up 2 more. So that is correct. But hang on a second.
But you didn't complete them.
Yes, I haven't completed these, so I've completed 2 quests and I've got 3 points. You've completed 2 quests and you've got 2 points. But on top of that, so you gain points according to the number of trophies that you have acquired. Well, actually, hang on a second. So if you had destroyed any rooms, then you would gain the points for those rooms. There's no rooms that have been...
What of?
Right? You resolve quests. So here we go. Hang on. Oh, actually... Oh, I think I've got this wrong. Hang on a second. It's not a case of... You don't get points for the actual quest. It's whoever resolves the most. So first place would get 6 points. Second place would get 3 points. We both actually completed the same number of quests. So it doesn't really matter. We could say it's 6 points each. So we're still tied. Unstable rooms. Anybody had destroyed any of those? No, we didn't, so there's no points there. Trophy tokens. First place. So again, we just count out the amount of kills. Whoever got the most kills gets first place, and so on and so forth. You get 4 points for just killing me once. So you're plus 4 points. Whoever is the crown bearer when we get to the end gets 1 point.
I'll poop.
So ultimately, you win.
All because I killed you?
Because you killed me. Because you broke the sort of tiebreaker that you have 1 kill compared to my 0 kills.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because you tried to kill me, and I said, nay, sir.
You said no. You said no.
No. Yeah, I think I was like, no. I'm going to use my armor. No.
So
I'm going to kill you. No.
So hang on. Let's just double check, just not because we want to take anything away from anybody here. So you got 4 additional points. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think that the rose still won.
Well, we would both actually get 6 points, wouldn't we? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd get 6. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get 1 for the crown. So there we go. So you get to 14. I'm at 11, and the rose is at 9. So at least we
Rose.
We beat the rose, so that's okay.
We're still lost in the halls of Hogwarts, but we beat you.
So, not problems, but limitations aside, what did you think?
I like it. I think it was just very difficult because it's the whole not having everything in front of me.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that makes a huge difference. Especially because the first round we played where we just put down all of our cards all willy-nilly, like thinking that we had to. And then the differentiating between what's your deck, what's your discard, what's your whatever that one word is, and then grimoires, and then what is your library, and then what's your hand. All of that's very difficult. I mean, I'm sure that it's easier to pick up once everything's in front of you as well.
Yes, I mean the boards themselves. I don't know if you can sort of see on this. There's sections on either side for the different cards.
You keep everything where they're supposed to be.
Yes, and everything is all laid out. It's really, really well designed in that regard.
Right. So that's just where I was lacking then.
Yeah.
I would definitely want to play this again. Even if it's on here, I know it would be somewhat of a struggle bus, but I'd be okay with that. Because, it's you doing all the work. But then definitely doing it in person as well. I could see why you said that you had a lot of fun playing it.
Well, this is the thing. Yes. So as we know, when we play a game a first time, it is very much learning the ropes on it a little bit, isn't it?
Especially me.
Right? No, it's for everybody.
But so I think that you've cracked the case with me in more difficult games like this. Is that if I write everything out, I seem to do a lot better.
Yeah, I think. No. You. I mean, you again. All kudos to you because you are absolutely. You're at a disadvantage because you can't see everything. I'm at a disadvantage because I'm trying to make sure you've got enough information, and so I'm not really looking at what I'm doing so much. I'm trying to make sure everything else is working. If we were sat around a table, it'd be a very, very different experience. Of course, we would have hidden information. We wouldn't know what spells we'd drawn up, so there'd be a lot more sort of tension to it.
I assume quests would have been secret as well?
Yes, yeah, everything's secret. You know, you definitely, one of the things with this game is you have got to be competitive. You have got to not pull your punches. Any opportunity that opens itself up for you to be able to do damage against your opponent, you should absolutely go for and not hold back one bit. Right? That's the one thing I've certainly learnt from playing it a couple of times.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, this game, there is a second version of it being released on Kickstarter in the next week or so. It is called Black Rose Wars Rebirth. Anybody who's interested, go and check out Ludus Magnus Studios on Facebook, probably one of the best locations. And you can see lots of teasers happening for this version 2. I don't quite know what they are intending to put on into it. It'll be maybe refining of some of the rules. It'll be lots of different wizards and mages. Again, the Kickstarter for this particular game, we have just 4 different mages in this box. But in the Kickstarter, I'm sure there was at least 10 different mages that you could have. So there's a vast a wealth of different characters, and of course all the different schools of magic. That's something that we haven't really touched upon in tonight's game.
That's what I was going to ask, is if we were playing at the table. Hold on one second. Please stop barking. Thank you. There's a sound and he woke up from a nap going burf, burf. If we were playing at the table, then I wouldn't have just been drawing from the red cards, right?
Exactly. Those are all the spells. If you can see that now.
So they would never be sectioned out like we played it then.
Right. No, you would have essentially 6 sections. So these, let's just see, because they are beautiful. All of these cards are so nice. So let's get that. So that is an entire library of spells for one school of magic. Which is Transmutation. Then we have all of these cards, which I think is Illusion. This one is Conjuring.
So when it says draw from the library, you would just randomly pick a library, or? So
so basically, because we had our sets here, these sets would all be as a row. There'd be 6 schools of magic in front of us. And when it says pick 4 cards and keep 2, you'd be taking cards from any of these schools of magic. Right?
So you could essentially say, I want to pull just from red.
Yes. But you could have said,
okay.
I want to take 1 from yellow, 1 from green, 1 from blue, 1 from purple.
Right. Okay.
There's, again, us sticking with just one school meant that you kind of understood some of the spells because there's a little bit of repetition in there. They follow a theme. It was keeping you sort of focused in on one aspect. To have
and it made it easier on you.
It made it easier on me, but to have all the schools available. Right? Suddenly, it's like, wow, you're jumping from one thing to another. So that's something we can build up to, as I showed. And you can download this. It's !BGG. That gives you the link to the Ludus Magnus website. There's all the transmutation spells, and that has all of them listed out, so you know exactly how they work. Remember, each spell also has a reverse effect.
It has a reverse, and depending on how you lay it down,
exactly,
is the one that you're using.
Yes.
So whenever you flip, the spells on top is the one that you're using.
So in fact, there's 12 cards, but there's 12 spells, but there's 24 spells to each school. And because it's a sort of deck building mechanic, you want to know what all of those spells are. You want to then be able to chain, because you know how you could play your quick spell and then you could play a standard spell. You could chain 2 spells together and have a devastating attack, because maybe those two spells do 10 points of damage together because it works like that. And that being the case, you just blast your opponent into smithereens because that's what you want, because that gives you a hit token, you get 4 points, and you've just done a kill.
It's definitely like a deck building thing.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's very much deck building, yes. And of course, what then happens is you can start discarding cards so that you're refining the deck that you have so that you know what cards are going to come up over and over and over again. This is a game that gets better the more you play it, the more you learn and focus in on particular elements. What I have found, and it does stay in the rulebook, necromancy and destruction are two of the easier schools to learn because it's pretty obvious. One's summoning undead who are going to do your bidding for you, clobbering people. The other is firing fireballs and making maelstroms and doing ice blasts. Yeah, it's very obvious. Transmutation, you can start putting traps down, or you change things. The conjuring does other elements that require a little bit more. You've got to understand how this spell works. One of the schools, basically, you are not engaging with your opponent at all. In fact, it doesn't work that way. You spend a lot of time converting rooms and making other elements happen. So it's actually a non-offensive style of magic. Which, if it's against, if you're up against an offensive style mage, you may find that as a new player, that's really difficult. So you have got to learn your school. And of course, it pays off once you do. There's lots and lots of depth in this game, and it's all so beautifully presented. Yeah, I really like it. But I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do in this new version. And maybe there's things that can add on to this version, I don't know. So take a look on their Facebook page to be alerted for when the Kickstarter happens. I think it is in the next week or 2 weeks' time. So it's quite imminent. There we go then. Well,
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thanks for playing. Congratulations for winning.
Yeah, sorry for getting confused a lot.
No, it's okay. Again, it's absolutely fine. I say we understand that because of the limitations of this medium, but you did.
And I only have so many screens up.
You did incredibly well. Incredibly well.
Okay.
All right then. Have a wonderful weekend, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye now.
Okay, and so my thanks to Sarah for playing Black Rose Wars this evening with me. As I say, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot to learn, but I think that's where this game really does shine. You truly, truly believe that you are a mage in a mystical world, fighting for supremacy against your peers to be the supreme mage in the Black Rose Wars. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I look forward to seeing you again on Monday night. But until then, bye for now.